morning. Thank you for joining us. This is today's live on Equa Television, and today we are going to be looking at the topic, the company of the great. Are you living in one? How important it is for you to have one, and how can you keep one? It is very, very important because the cycle you live determines who you are. And today we are going to be looking at it, and then you know how we do it here. You can join us on our social media handles so that we'll do this together, so that we'll hear your own view. And in the house, we have Engineer Tony J. Nakali.
Always a privilege to be here. Always.
We have Prudence Burger.
Good morning.
And we have Joyce Dekada.
After
The
a
one
long
and
time.
only.
After a long time of only God knows where.
Thank God for life. I'm the joyous Joyce.
Only God knows where.
Standing on the solid rock.
Yeah.
There are several things that as a leader, if I pick them up, people will lose a lot of things. But you see, for peace to reign, just let the sleeping dog lie.
Well, good morning. How are we doing?
But if I pick up issues with people, you have problems from villages, multiple places.
We don't want to.
Let me just remain the nice man I've always been.
Please do. Well, the topic that we are going to be looking at today.
If not, 2 weeks away from work,
Yes.
viewers can testify.
Evidence everywhere.
Evidence choke. Go ahead with the show, sir. I'm sorry.
No, it's still part of the show.
Wow.
Still part of the show. If you can say it.
Go ahead.
the
Go
show.
ahead. It's okay. Facts established. This coffee is very hot before they peel your skin.
The company of the great.
You see the company that I keep?
Hmm.
Absentees everywhere. How can my company be great?
No, how can you be great with absentee?
Good to be alive.
Yeah, it is. Company of the great. How important it is for someone to keep one.
Okay, I think it's very important for...
This is the guilt of not being around for a long time. She wants to start. Go ahead.
he was actually directing it to
He
me.
didn't call your name.
Okay.
In the ethics of...
Actually, I wanted her to start.
okay, but you didn't call her name.
Yes.
So two of you
I
did
think
not-
the eye contact.
communication theory. You didn't pass that to me.
No,
The
there's also non-verbal communication.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So we are doing the show on improv now.
he chooses to ask the question with non-verbal communication. So I decoded as well. So let's talk about the company of the great.
So what if I decoded the same thing as well and I wanted to start?
You didn't decode well because the eye contact.
I decoded. You rushed as usual. Whenever you have
Go
a
ahead.
point, whenever you have a point that you are afraid of losing, you drop it first.
Okay, go ahead. Start.
Make your point.
No, go ahead.
I don't want it to be pointless at the end of the show.
Your point will always be valid.
See, we have wasted 10 minutes of people
Okay.
talking about things that will not add value to their life on earth or in heaven. How about Joyce? See, you just came and after losing touch with a lot of things, you are still... Please go ahead and make that point. We know it's going to be weak anyway.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Jamima, I miss you on the show.
Okay, talking about the company of the greats, like you mentioned earlier on the importance, like it's not one that should be underrated, and because it contributes, it tells a lot about your success and even your well-being entirely. Like, so when you talk about the company of the great, who is even the great? The great is or are individuals that have actually contributed significantly to the society. They are also people that have achieved and attained success in their fields. And they are also people that have showed exceptional or demonstrated exceptional qualities in terms of leadership. And so these are people that are actually great. And you find them in all spheres of life. You don't just find them in communication, or you just find them in leadership, and in other spheres of life you don't find them. So you find great people in politics. You find great people in leadership. Like we talk about the likes till today, tomorrow we keep mentioning the likes of Nelson Mandela. These are people that have showed exceptional qualities in terms of leadership because they fought for justice. When you talk about scientists and innovators, people that have broke grounds just to ensure that they come up with discoveries that will help humanity. And then philanthropists and humanitarians are also great people, because these are people that look after the well-being and welfare of other people. Today we mentioned the likes of Mother Teresa, John Perkins. These are people that are looking out for like the world becoming a better place. So you find them, even athletes, artists, entertainers. These are people that use their creativity to add up to the development and then the growth of the society. We also have business people. Today, when we talk about like social change and impact in the society, you start mentioning, like there are a lot of names that are familiar to us in terms of technology, bringing about social change. Like these are great people. So great people like contribute significantly to the development of the society. They are people, like I said earlier on, that have showed exceptional qualities in terms of leadership, in terms of success in their various fields. So you cannot just like overlook or underrate the importance of having like great people as your company, because it tells a lot to how far you can go, or and then how far you can achieve or attain success in life. So the company of the great, they don't make friends with just nobody. You don't find great people just sitting in amongst people that add no value to them. They look out for people that maybe there are some alignments in terms of values. They look out for people that will motivate them, people that will inspire them, people that will help them to achieve their goals or do better, because they already have visions. That's why we're talking about them being great. They have visions, they have goals, they are heading somewhere. So they are deliberate about people that they keep as their company. They are sure that this person that I'm picking up and I'm allowing into my inner circle is somebody that his values and his goals align with mine. That when we talk, we share ideas. When we talk, we motivate each other. When we talk, we inspire each other to grow and become better. So I think it's very important that for them to be great, they are deliberate about their company, and that is why till today we talk about them and we mention certain names.
You know, when you talk about greatness, you mention names that we can easily remember when you said these people are great. When you talk about business, when you talk about innovations and the rest, can it be you being great like at that level? The reason why I ask this, because when you talk about greatness, people think that you can just be like so person. That is when somebody can say you are great. For instance, when you talk about business people, for instance, you call Otedola, for instance, right? And then somebody is just thinking that's just the level that when you reach, then that's when they will say maybe you are great. Is it that until you attain that level, that's when they will say you are great?
Greatness means a lot of things to different people.
Yes.
You can find a pastor not calling a rich man great man, but he can call somebody who wrote just 2 or 3 books that have impacted his life a great man. I think this has to do with the impact that great personality has on you before you can call somebody a great man. Because, you know, we have a lot of rich people in this country. But to me, they are not great people. They are just rich. Why? Because their riches revolve around them, their children, their in-laws. And even if you come, no matter how exposed you are, no matter how great you are as a person, they have yardstick for measuring greatness. If you don't fall within that category or that circumference, you cannot marry their son or their daughter. That's not a great person. That's not a great person. You see, you know great people by how many more people they have made great. You know a rich man by how many more people they have made rich. You know a wise person by how many more people they have made wise. So I think if you leave me, I would say these people are great. All of these names that are very popular, you know, they are just great because they have attained a height in their area of specialty or any area that they stride in. But not necessarily that they are great. Okay. We have a communication outfit in Nigeria or company that belongs to a Nigerian. That network belongs to a Nigerian. Why is it not bigger than the one that does not belong to Nigerian or a Nigerian? Do you understand? And I think these are things that we should start opening. If you say ECWA is a great denomination, why? Because we have great pastors. That's the only reason, sir. That is the only reason. ECWA is largely run by pastors. Largely. We have 5 executive members. Only one is not a pastor. And he acts like a pastor. He talks like a pastor. He behaves like a pastor. You know, he receives things. He perceives like a pastor. Why? Because he's in the company of pastors. In our general church council, we have 94, 95 DCCs now. 94, I think. Yeah. You have the chairman of a DCC is a pastor. The vice chairman is a pastor. The secretary of the DCC is a pastor. The only person or the only 2 people that may not be pastors are the treasurer and the delegate. So we are largely run by a group of pastors. Permit me to say that if we fail, these people are held accountable. I'm sure people don't even look at it that way. If we fail as a denomination, pastors are held accountable. Administratively, pastors are running us. Leadership-wise, in every ramification, pastor, except people like us that are not pastors. And you can use fingers to count us. You can't use fingers to count pastors in ECWA. It is the same with Nigeria. That's why mostly, maybe we have the problems we have because we are led by politicians. And the leaders among them, you can use fingers to count them. Or you can use a finger to count them. Decisions are political. Do you understand? Security is political. Economy is political. Development is political. Infrastructure is political. Everything, appointments are political. Even as the name implies, political appointment. So you see, the greatness of you as a person is solely determined by the people that are assisting you with your decisions, with your actions, with whatever you do. It's the same with the church. It's the same with government at different levels. When you, okay, now, look at what the president of Nigeria did. He gave full autonomy to local government. Now it has become a lucrative venture. Go to Facebook now. States that have not conducted local government elections now. See how Facebook in Nigeria is flooded with posters of capable people, useless people, people that have no sense, people that are intelligent. Every kind of human being wants to be a local government chairman. For the simple reason that it has become a more lucrative place. If not, why didn't we see all this number of flyers in previous elections of local government? Sometimes you don't even know that a local government election is conducted in a state. You know what? People say, the governor will just select and they will announce. But you see, there is a significant importance that has been attached to that office. The office has become greater now. So people are rushing to be there. But you know what? The people that are at the bottom, they don't care about their wellness. They don't care about their greatness. They don't care about their future. They care about somebody that can come and share money. How can you be great by that? People are deprived. I don't know why I keep talking about information in recent times. I keep talking about people are deprived the right information. That is why Nigeria is still where we are, or where it is today. There are some countries of the world where you go to, people decide what happens, even at the level of government or governance. I think that's the right word to say. At the level of governance, people decide. When you bring out something, look at Kenya. People are saying no. They are rejecting something that the government wants to do. But in Nigeria, we are planning to go on a protest, right? But what do you think of that protest? I'm trying to find the meaning behind that protest. Since I was born, there have been protests upon protests, upon protests upon protests. And these protests, the protests in Nigeria are organized by people who have been sidelined, by people who have been politically relegated to the rear. Let's be truthful. Let's be truthful. Everybody says what they want to say these days, right? But let's be truthful. The immediate past president of Nigeria, he had policies that everybody was not happy about. But we saw a subtle way of addressing the inadequacies of the past government by the people where, or the region, let me put it this way, by the region where that leadership is coming from. Now, we have people agitating for protest from a region other than the one that the sitting president is from. What do you think will be of this protest should it happen? Would greatness come back to Nigeria? And I asked someone, I said, he has been posting protests, they will come out to protest, they will come out to protest. And I asked him, I said, sir, if you are saying people should come out and protest, will you stand behind, in front of the people that are supporting you to go for the protest? I started hearing a lot of things like, I know that in Hausa they say kame kame. There was no reasonable answer. He was just beating about the bush. He said he doesn't have to go, their supporters will go and all of that. If you are clamoring for change and you think protest is the only way to that change, you come out and protest as well. Let's look at the NSAS issue. Let's look at the NSAS issue. When the NSAS started, it was a protest against bad governance. Right? This protest is still against bad governance. Right? Why is it one-sided? Because you hear more of the protests from one side of the country than you hear from the other side of the country. True. Sir, you must surround yourself with people that have the integrity that you can rely upon. If you don't, you are doomed.
Okay, I like it the way you touch this aspect of being greatness by the kind of people you surround yourself with. And I can still say it can also be the kind of people you select or you elect to be your leaders. Because if the people are not thinking great and then you are giving them responsibility to govern you, definitely you won't be great as a nation. And that's how probably maybe the masses will be. Because if you are looking for a way to be great, to excel in your chosen career, whether business or whatever you are doing, and then the policies are depriving you from becoming that, I don't think that greatness that you are aspiring or you are wishing or you are working real hard to become because of the people up there that either by whichever way, you allow them to lead you, they will crumble you. And that's why the issue of Japa, is just because people are looking for a greener pasture. And I asked myself, I said, why are people going out to countries that they feel is there they will thrive? Because some of them, when they leave this country, we complain about our education here. And when Nigerians go out, they do great things. You see them becoming, graduating with first class here and there, retaining them and the rest. And you wonder, why are they not making it here? You understand? And then you look at it, because if you talk about greatness, you talk about individual. I think as a community of nation too, who are we relating as a country in Nigeria? Who are we relating with? Who are we, let me just use the relate. Who are we relating with? Who are the people that we, because I so much believe if you are talking about a great person, it can be a mentor. We can equally say like a mentor, because he's up there and you are looking up to that person and you are keeping the cycle because you want to be great. You want to be like that person. You are aspiring to be good, to be better than who you are. Okay. If we are talking about countries, who are the what are these countries that are great that your citizens are moving there? What are you not doing right that you think if you do, your country too, people will come because the country is great and they just want to emulate you? Like they give us the name Giants of Africa. Are we truly giants?
By size, yeah.
But
honestly, by population.
And you said something like pertaining the issue of protest.
What's the topic of this show again?
Yeah, it's greatness.
Greatness.
Company
right?
of company of the great.
I'm sorry, viewers.
I want to connect, because yes, people are watching, and because we talk about this and that's what is money, and we will have to just create balance. If not, it will just be as if we just
I've said this on this set one
Yeah.
time, that gone are the days where people make friends or keep company based on strength or somebody's strengths, like complementing my weakness. But people look out for companies that, okay, I have weakness in this area and this person also have in the same area. Oh, we become friends and then we keep moving. There's no way you reach that height that you see and you envy. I like the question that you asked about what is the criteria to which we say this person is great or that person is not great. And the fact that Engineer Tony emphasized that the difference is impact. That's just the difference. You can have a lot of money, and if there's no impact, if people around you don't feel the impact, then you're not great. You're just great as far as you think or your pocket is concerned. But greatness is just tied to impact, making the world a better place. Most of the names, like I said earlier on, that we are mentioning today, they are tied to one thing or the other that led to social change in the world and in the society where we live. We're talking about Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi. Like John Perkins, he was an economic hitman. Like in his confession as an economic hitman, he worked for developed countries. How that they go out for underdeveloped countries and then try to convince them to come and get loans, and they collect loans that they cannot pay. At the end of the day, the deal is that, okay, you're going to give us this since you cannot pay this. He was tired of working, seeing that developed countries or the great people exploiting the underdeveloped countries and then just using them to make themselves rich. And that's why he said, I want to make this change. I cannot keep this. I have to confess this. And he wrote the book, The Confession of the Economic Hitman. So for you to be great, you must make significant contribution
to humanity,
to the society, to the country, to the world that we live. For you to be great, it means that in your field, your area of endeavor, your profession, you must make impact. You are not just living or surviving or just working, but people can feel your impact in that area. If I'm an entertainer, if I'm an artist, if I'm an innovator, a scientist, there should be an innovation, even if it's a theory that I'm coming up with that will help solve a problem or bring about solution, that means I am a great person. And I don't need to even say that I'm a great person. But the people that felt the impact of my greatness, of my discoveries, they should be able to say that. Greatness is about you being human. You looking out for the need of people, looking out for at the problem and bringing about solution. So it's not about money. I know we have a mindset that, oh, once this person is rich, this person has this and that, oh, he's a great person. And then the person that is looking out to be great is thinking of acquiring those things. And that's why you say sometimes some pastors will see certain people, they don't regard you as great. And they see other people that they do not really have the money, but they have dedicated their time. The likes of Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, like their resources, they are using it to help other people and to make life better for others. That is what greatness is all about. And that is why you see when you talk about company, the Bible says that, you see, the company of the great, when talking about the association of people, when you associate with the wise, you become wise. And if you associate with the foolish, you become foolish. So for those people to be who they are, that we are referring to them as great, it means that they looked out for certain qualities and people that they kept around them. And our behaviors today is influenced largely by the company we keep, whether you like it or not. They influence your attitude, your actions, your behaviors. So what are great people looking out for them to keep as company? They're looking out for loyalty. They're looking out for intelligence. They're looking out for people that are empathetic. They're looking out for people that will inspire them to become like greater. They're looking out for people that will tell them, see, you can be successful if you try this, if you try that. They're looking out for people that will tell them the truth, not just people that will just press or massage their ego and say, oh, you're doing well where you're not doing well. Because sometimes when people applaud you, you check who are actually the people applauding you. Some of this applaud can just lead to your downfall. So great people, because they know the importance of greatness and its impact, they look out for people that will contribute and we aid them to become better and a better version of themselves.
You know something I find interesting is that most of the people that we call great in today's life, a lot of them were not even aware that they were that great. They were all focused on what the impacts they needed to make and the changes they needed to see, they wanted to see, and that's where they channeled their energy. It was later on that they realized, oh, they are really big names. For some of them, they weren't even aware that they were big names up until they died. It was later on that people were like, oh, this person made an impact. We still talk about Mahatma Gandhi. He had no clue that he was that big. I'm pretty sure even Mandela did not know he was that big for people to go rioting and all that because he was in prison. It was just because he was focused. One thing about great people is that focus is key. So if there's any reason why they have company or friends, is because these people would help them to keep focus. It's because these people would not be the reason why they are breaking their determination to make progress, their determination to make change, to effect change. And we talk about Nigeria, and we talk about how, and you were talking about how much which countries are we interacting with. If you find it, you look at it, we try as much as possible to communicate, to relate with big names, great countries. But you see where we get it all wrong is that if you really want to be great and you are relating with great people, don't be there to just tap from their wealth, rather learn how to make the wealth. But you see, a lot of times when we go to communicate or when we go to relate with these people, we're not focused on how exactly did they get to where they are, but rather what can they give us. Well, when you go to a great person and you're looking for what can he give me, and not learning how did he get to the point that he got to, you're pretty much doing nothing.
You lose respect.
Yes. You don't have respect, you lose worth.
Hmm.
In fact, this person will just give it, okay, so just take it, and so that you just let him be.
Hmm.
So, what are the ideologies that we have when we approach great people? For a lot of Nigerians, Engineer Tony was talking about how everybody's clamoring to be the local government chairman, because now the local government chairman position, that seat, is now a seat that you could easily sap from. Or everybody wants to fill their
Or it will
pockets.
make you look great in your own community
And everybody
because of
wants,
how.
honestly, so it's we go for the glam rather than the hard work. We're not seeing the label, we're not going for the label. And every single great person you talk about had label. We talk about bestseller authors. Some of them wrote 1,000,001 books before they got to be bestsellers. Miles Monroe, for an instance, was one. A lot of people did not even know he was writing it until after he died.
Hmm.
So these are people that kept on being persistent because they knew that what they are doing is creating impact. And it is only when you bring that mentality into your game that you're going to succeed. If not, if you're just there to sap, as I said earlier, you're just there to tap from people's wealth and not actually tap from their experience and learn from their experiences, then you're going nowhere. And not just learn, but actually put what you learn into
Practice. You have to.
When you look at people who are in a mix of people that they look up to, people focus wrongly, like Prudence said,
Hmm.
on the wealth that you already have. You see, by thinking I have wealth or I have riches,
Hmm.
it tells me you can never be like me.
Hmm.
But if you think that I have acquired,
Wow.
that means it's progressional.
Hmm.
Then it will make you think, what did I do every step of the way to acquire all the wealth that I have, that I've piled up to become billions or trillions? If you are bothered that, they gave him appointment recently now, that place he's cashing out. You are going to be a temporary rich man.
True.
Hmm.
I would rather not be a rich man at all than to be a temporary rich man. Do you know what it means? You tasted wealth
Hmm.
and now you are poor, broke, nothing to write about.
Hmm.
You can't make contributions, or you never made contributions, so that will not even be anything. There are people who, whenever there is need in a community,
Hmm.
they don't bother going to some rich men. They knock house to house poor people,
Hmm.
because they know that's the only place that the contribution will come from. These rich people might even give you the same contribution as the poor, or even less. They don't invite them for church events, they don't invite them for weddings, they don't invite them for anything. You see, when you are looking at a great person and you look at the individual, Joyce said something, Prudence said something as well. Very important. She mentioned Nelson Mandela. She mentioned Miles Monroe. When you look at these people, two things will make us know you too can be great, or you are just the kind of person that Prudence described as, I just want to meet this person. If I see this person, know how bad as he bad, 15 mil go come out.
Hmm.
True.
It's a general mentality. It's a
Hmm.
general mentality.
Hmm.
But two things to watch out for: the personality, the person. Like, who is Solomon Sambo? Sabi. Kai, I admire this man. So you see, that person does not have a large heart to think. The room for thinking in his mind is very small, very, very small. It's so small that you might not even see it. That's one, right? Number two, The person you know that has tendencies to be greater than the person he is following that is great, he looks at the purpose. Look at Nelson Mandela. His purpose was liberation for his people. And he went to prison. He didn't bother. People came to see him. He still talked about it. He was taken for interrogation. He still talked about it. He was beaten. He still talked about it. He was given a sentence. He was sentenced to how many years? I think 30 or so. I can't remember now.
Life in prison.
Life in prison before he got I think an what do you call it, presidential grant, or I don't know what brought him out. He was finally released.
Yes, the civil society.
Yeah, people
He
spoke and spoke and
yes,
spoke and
and,
spoke. That's true. And he
so
came
the
out.
Pressure was.
And when he came out, he didn't stop talking about what took him to prison. What has that got to do with him as an individual? Extracting purpose out of that story. All the people that want to be president in Nigeria, they sound purposeful. Very, very purposeful. Until they are sworn in. All the people that want to be governor in Nigeria, they sound purposeful. Until they are sworn in. All the people that are looking for position, the people that want to be husband, they sound purposeful until they get married. All the young girls that are tired of single lives and they want to be married by all means necessary, they sound purposeful until they are pronounced Mrs. All the people that are looking for jobs, they sound very, very purposeful until you give them the appointment letter. Then they become who really they are. So what is the purpose while you are living? That purpose will give rise to a lot of things. Who you accommodate and why. And why is still going to fall back to purpose. What is the purpose of Joyce? If Joyce comes to me and says, sir, you have not considered my request. I want you to mentor me. I want you to mentor me. What is her purpose? What is her purpose? A lot of people will come to my office and say, we want to submit to this leadership. They speak all kind of English. Just because you have 2 pairs of speakers, when somebody is doing concert, you give them, or you have a boss that they can carry things, they want to submit. You know, I understand all this purpose. Some people just hear, my mentor gave me this shoe. And then they posted it. That guy is giving people things, so let me go and submit.
Very true.
The governor has great heart for the church. As a retired pastor, let me go and see him. You come, sir, we want to submit to this leadership. We have been praying for you and we will not stop praying. What is the purpose? The Bible says deep calleth unto deep. The depth of your thinking, when you come to me, it will call. That is where the connection comes. It will call. And when I look at you, I just know that this Joyce, she's not looking for mentorship or mentoring. Something else is bringing her. Some people have patience to wait and see what that thing is. Some people send you away immediately, so they don't even have time. Or to give you the time to prove what they are not willing to see. I met somebody, very great person. I tried my best to see that person. Finally, when we met, I said, sir, please, I came to submit. I said, I came to submit to your leadership, and I wish that you can carry me. He said, Tony, I know I've been your mentor for a long time. We have never had this communication, but sometimes when you speak, I hear myself in the things you say. When you act, I see myself. I said, sir, how do you know? He said, I follow you too. I see you. I check your antecedents. He said, so, he said, stand up, stand up, stand up, sit down. And I'm not saying 5 years ago. No, I'm not saying 5 years ago. I'm not even saying 5 months ago. This thing was in March, April this year. I knelt down, sir. There are people that are not humble in this life at all. That man is not like rich, no. But when you call his name, people want to like listen to him, and he's everywhere. He gets 10 million now. he goes home with 2 million, 1.5. He remembers that there are people that are suffering. Guess what? He's not a Christian. Purpose is very important, sir. There are people that don't know religion, they know humanity. I respect them more than people who preach religion every now and then. Yet there are people are hungry. Yet there are people no. Some people know humanity. They don't know what is religion. No.
That's why some people, when you ask them, "What's your religion?" Yeah, I'm just a humanist, because for them, humanity comes first.
You know, Jesus was talking and he said, "True religion is taking care of."
And in taking care of, you find humanity. It is humanity that makes
you people that are into humanitarian project, they are close to the heart of Jesus. I'm telling you. Somebody will just wake up and say, "This is my birthday. I'm raising money to go to the orphanage." Sir, that you thought these people are helpless and you want to share. You would have been in the clubhouse or a lounge or anywhere celebrating, or in the office with your Christian brothers. There's no sin celebrating your birthday. It's just how you do it. But for you to think about people that are incapacitated to do anything for themselves, and you say, for once, just this 1 hour, I want to go and have fun with these people. So you thought well. So you see, the company of great, I think, let me say this in case I don't have any opportunity to speak on this show again. The company of great, when you are talking about the company of great people and maintaining, don't just follow any great man because he's great. Make sure your purpose and he is aligned. He can't be talking about humanitarian and you're talking about food and nutrition. I don't know.
Or accumulating wealth to yourself. Because
do you understand? There are people that know that what Solo is looking for is this 1,000 that I'm giving him every day. So that is what is bringing him to me. I'll keep giving him, but I'll never do anything more important than 1,000 with him. So sometimes when you knock on the door, they say, "Who is Solo? Okay, look, 1,000. No, Kubashi. Pick this 1,000 and give him." Oga is reading or they are praying, but he said, "I should give you this." Tell him I'm grateful. He knows, he confirms what he has been thinking. You can be with somebody and dismiss yourself from that person with 100,000 over tens or hundreds of millions that you could have made or that you can make in the future just being with this person. Somebody sent me one time to represent him somewhere. I said, "Sir, are you serious?" He said, "Tony, are you engaged?" I said, "No, I'm just thinking, why me?" He said, "No, I have a project, I have assignment, I have this. I can't be there. Go and represent me." That day I felt like the man for once.
Company of the great.
Company of the great.
I felt like the man for once. Recently I received an award. And honestly, it's not to say that I'm looking down on myself, but I'm one of the least that received that award. There was a governor, there was a chief of staff to the SGF, there was a minister, there was a permanent secretary of FCT, there was this, there was that, there were great people in that place. They received the same award as I did. And I started asking. Till today, honestly, I don't know who gave that my name. But somebody called me and said, they asked me if I know you because I grew up in Jos too. And I said yes. And then I asked them why. They said they are giving him the same award that they are giving you. And the person said, yes, I know him very well. He's this, he's that. And I stood there. And I had another engagement, sir, somewhere. And I told them, I can't stay to receive the award, but they can announce it. I can come back to Abuja another time to receive the award. The lady said, okay. She went to tell the person in charge while I walked out of the hall. They rushed me and said, they are interrupting the program to give you an award. I said, no, it's not necessary. She said that the Oga insists. So I came back in the midst of all of these people. The governor of Niger, all of these people were there. And they interrupted the program. And they said, I came all the way from Jos to take this award. I shouldn't go back. I collected the award. While I was walking out, I heard the MC saying, thank you, let's go back to our program. We were on item. And I kept asking myself, what is this? What is this? What is this? Sir, sometimes you might think you need to get accolades every step of the way. No, you don't. Once you are, the only accolade is Once you know you are doing the right thing, that's it. Keep working. That's the accolade.
You know, Prudence earlier on was talking about what I consider the characteristics of the greats. You find them resilient, you find them visionary, you find them focused. Like, it's not about the accolades. It's about doing the right thing. It's about excellence. It's about striving. It's about impacting. And that is what the great think about. And that's what differentiates the great and those that are not great. Because if you're not great and you're coming to submit to the leadership of the great, and all you're looking out for is the 1,000 they are getting, that, or 2,000, or something that you're sapping, not really about purpose, not really about something that will add up to who you are, but just getting, then you can never be great. And that's why most times, you see, the people we keep or we hear influence and impact on how we think generally. And that's why you don't just allow anybody into your circle or into your life. Because consciously or unconsciously, you find out you are acting like those people. And that is why when we say, this person is my mentor, this person, I look up to this person, you see yourself unconsciously acting like them. Now, when you want to be great in life, just keep being focused. Just keep doing the right thing. Just be excellent at what you do. Don't be so desperate about accolades. Don't be desperate about upload. But just see impact as your driving force. Because if you have been into something, for example, a profession or a field, and nobody has felt the impact of what you have been doing there, then you should sit down and reminisce. Someone was telling me recently about an anniversary, 7 years or something. I said it calls for reflection. And when I said, the conversation was about, it's 7 years. And I said, beyond the joy, can you reflect on these 7 years? How far so far? There are a lot of things that you should think about. It should not just be about the number of the years that passed. When we talk about the greats, we are talking about what they have done in their profession, what they have done to the society. ECWA as a denomination today is considered great. Why? Because of the impact, not just within ECWA, but to the society. In Plateau State, for example, you can't talk about 3 hospitals, big hospitals, without mentioning Bingham. Why? Because of the social responsibility.
It's just hospital.
And you find people coming all over. And then you see ECWA is doing well. And when you talk about education, health, medicals and all. So that is why it is considered great. That is why the government does things with ECWA, because there's a responsibility to the society. So I will strive for greatness, while we will strive for becoming a better version of ourselves. It is important that we associate with people that are going to help us to become a better version of who we are. You can't sit down and be admiring somebody from distance. There is the work that the person put to be where he or she is. Sometimes I ask people, how long do you want to be begging? Like, for how long? Like, yesterday I was watching, it was a movie, how someone just called, he was talking with his wife, and then the wife's phone just rang and she picked. He said, give me her account number. And who was calling you? He said, my sister. He said, give me her account number, because she interrupted their conversation. They were having a conversation with his wife, they were laughing, and the sister just called. And he already knew what the sister would say. He said, give me her account number so that we can continue this conversation. So you want to be begging. How long do you want to beg? You are looking at people you are admiring. Don't you want to also be in that position?
No, there are people that don't care.
You should also think about...
Joyce, there are people that prefer, as a politician, don't do the road, share the money.
Yeah.
And they are the ones following it. You are in Abuja following good roads, trading on good roads, but they don't care. Hospital, don't do the hospital, just share us the money.
And you
people don't care.
But you know what happens is that at the end of the day, they are the loudest voices that you hear complaining. The thing is, a lot of times when we talk about greatness, people look at the fame that comes with it. But greatness, or rather fame, is not greatness. Neither is greatness fame. Greatness is impact. Greatness, when I say greatness is impact, I mean that young man in your community that always impacts other young people, that is a great person.
Yes.
That child in the junior church that always directs people's minds to thinking of God,
Mm.
that is a great person. That pastor that would go against odds of people that call themselves stakeholders in church
Mm.
because of the needs of other members of this church, that is a great pastor.
Mm.
So what impact are you making?
Mm.
That is what makes you great.
Well, thank you so much, Engineer Tony. Thank you, Prudence, Joyce. Thank you for doing this with me today. And that is the much we can take, and we are so glad that you could do this with us. Thank you for staying. Thank you for giving us your time today. Just continue to give us this support by always connecting with us as we do this together. So we hope that tomorrow, same time, same station, you'll give us your time for us to do this again. Tomorrow we are coming with another beautiful topic that we'll discuss here. So in your little area, just try and impact on somebody. For me, I would just say, in your own little way, just be great. Greatness is not when you have everything. And like Prudence says, there's a great difference between greatness and fame. So you just have to separate it. Greatness is about impact. Who are you impacting in your area? As a father, are you impacting in your family? As a mother, are you impacting in your children? How are you doing? By asking this question, then you will know whether in your own area you are a great person. How is somebody looking at you? So let's just try and impact our people around us, impact the society. Let's be human conscious in whatever we do. Thank you so much, and God bless you.